everyone, welcome to this update video this morning. I hope that you have been really great this week. So we're going to be talking about what is going on across the North Atlantic basin. So there are a couple of disturbances that are marked, as we can see on this graphic. We have parts of the Northwest Caribbean and Gulf, as well as two other areas a little close to each other. So one of those areas is near the remnants of previously known Gordon. So the remnants of Gordon could try to redevelop over the coming days, but there's that other area moving off to the west, so that may try to acquire some tropical characteristics and get itself together. We'll see how that goes, but that area in the Caribbean that is highlighted will be the main talk of this video. So let's get straight to the details. As we switch to the satellite imagery here, we can see, so we've got our areas there, and then that other highlighted spot in the Caribbean. However, there isn't an X for that one because the low pressure area has not yet formed. So it is expected to form as we head into the end of this week and early next week. Thereafter, it could try to develop, and most models support this becoming a tropical storm. 100% support on that from our different models, and some of our models are expecting that we could see a hurricane become of it, which is definitely not something impossible. So first, we're going to be talking about the short-term forecast for the Caribbean, and we'll go into more details regarding development. So as we zoom into the region, we can see that there are some showers and thunderstorms around near Central America, and the offshore islands of San Andres and Providencia. So that cluster of activities associated with the tropical wave which is approaching Central America. So that's helping to increase the rain. There's definitely some showers and thunderstorms around for parts of the Windward Islands, Grenada, the Grenadines, offshore Barbados as well. But elsewhere, we're not seeing a whole lot going on right now. So for much of the Greater Antilles, the ABC Islands, and the rest of the Lesser Antilles, it's a pretty sunny morning, although things could get a little bit more active later today. Speaking of, as we look at the rainfall forecast here, we can see all the different colors around. So those more vibrant shadings go towards Central America. Again, there's that approaching tropical wave which will help to increase the rain. So Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, even headed to El Salvador, parts of Guatemala, southern Belize, and Mexico. There could definitely be some rainfall today. The Bay Islands of Honduras, the Keys, and even the islands of San Andres and Providencia. So there could definitely be some heavy rain. And with those periods of heavy rain, there could be flooding induced. And then as we head to northern South America, we see some of those purple shadings near the coast of Colombia. So very high rainfall amounts there, probably exceeding 3 or 4 inches. And a couple of colorful spots noted in parts of Venezuela. But then as we head to the Guyanas, it's likely to be pretty dry for much of today. And also same story for Trinidad and Tobago, even headed to the ABC Islands, much not expected. Some shower activity is likely to be around parts of the Lesser Antilles today, nothing crazy. Similar thing for the Virgin Islands and a few spots in Puerto Rico, headed to Hispaniola. And even for some spots in Jamaica, there could be some afternoon showers and thunderstorms popping up. Cayman Islands, a whole lot not in the forecast. And then as we head up to Cuba, though, there could be some substantial downpours. As we head to the Bahamas and even parts of Florida, there could be some instances of some heavy downpours at times, much not expected for the Turks and Caicos Islands, though. So that is what is expected in terms of rainfall activity today. And we're going to be focusing a bit more on our disturbance, the area rather that is marked in the Caribbean. So as I said, that airflow pressure is expected to form as we head to the weekend, and there is some really good support in terms of seeing development become of this. Models have been pretty consistent. I mean, there have been a couple of changes in terms of intensity and track, but overall, a tropical storm is definitely likely and a hurricane is possible. So let's go ahead and take a look at some model data. So we're going to be looking at the ensembles. Now this goes out to Wednesday evening of next week, and here we can see these different clusters of L's. And when we see a lot more of them in a particular area, that is indicating more of a chance of actually seeing some formation. So we're definitely seeing that for parts of the Southern Gulf and Northwest Caribbean, an area expected to come off of Africa, and another one following behind. And then these two would be for the remnants of Gordon and then that other highlighted area. But then as we head even further out, go into Saturday, the end of next week, here we can see lots of members here agreeing on development in the Gulf and even out in the main development region. Although if something does form out there at the time, if we don't have a strong or dominant area of high pressure, then we could see it not being a problem for the Caribbean, but there's no guarantee of that. As for the GFS ensembles, we can see that cluster in the Caribbean. This goes out through Monday evening of next week. So we definitely see the cluster of members suggesting that, hey, we could definitely have an airflow pressure to watch. Something else coming off of Africa, those two areas out there for the remnants of Gordon and the second disturbance. And then as we head to the end of next week as well, we can see a lot going on this map here. So definitely have some solid agreement in terms of development in the main development region, and also coming from the Northwest Caribbean and into the Gulf. Now, once we have something moving into the Gulf, someone is going to get it. That's just how it is, because I mean, there's land all around. There's no escape route of no impacts whatsoever, and worse if the conditions are highly conducive. So as I said, models definitely support a tropical storm, and many of them are showing hurricane at one point, major hurricanes. So once the airflow pressure forms and it gets designated as an invest, it will be there will be more data available in terms of the model intensity guidance, the model track guidance, so that we can have a better look at what could potentially happen with it. But regardless, with that area of low pressure forming in the Western Caribbean, there's likely to be an increase in rainfall around. So for the Cayman Islands, Central America, maybe even Jamaica and some parts of Cuba, there could be an increase in rainfall. So we'll definitely have to be watching for that. And I'll most certainly be keeping you guys posted on that as well. But one of the other things I want to go to is the Global Tropics Hazards Outlook map. Now, this was updated on Tuesday from the Climate Prediction Center. So we're focusing on the Atlantic, and we can see we have week 2, the week of the 25th of September to the 1st of October, and then we have week 3, the week of the 2nd of October to the 8th. So we're going to zoom in a bit more, and here we can see all these different shadings. Now, those brown shadings indicate the chance of below average rainfall, and the darker the shading is for either of the colors, the higher the probability of whatever it represents. So in terms of the brown shading for below average rain, then for those areas in that darker brown shading, such as the Northern Guyanas and parts of Venezuela, would have a better chance rather of experiencing below average rain. As for the green highlights indicate the chance of above average rain, and then those red shadings, you see the red and white striped shading go into that solid red, and then the burgundy indicate the chance of tropical development. So between September 25th and the 1st of October, we can see that the main development region is definitely highlighted. So that tropical wave coming off of Africa, trying to get itself together out there. And of course, we see pretty strong signals in the Western Caribbean and even the Gulf. So as I said, the Western Caribbean islands such as Jamaica, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, even headed to Central America, there is going to be a rainfall increase that's definitely supported. Here we can see the green shading, and then the red shadings indicating that pretty favorable opportunity to see tropical cyclone development. Headed to the week of the 2nd of October to the 8th, we can see something very much similar. More Caribbean islands highlighted within that green shading, indicative of above average rain, and we could see some development take place even in the Eastern Pacific, and we could see something else coming off of Africa and trying to get itself together at that time as well. So there you can see it, guys. We definitely are in that active period of the hurricane season, and we could have multiple systems to watch over the course of the coming week or two. And of course, I'm here to keep you posted as per usual. So that is basically what I wanted to share with you in this update video, and I do hope you found it to be informative. However, if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll get to you whenever I have the chance to do so, and remember to always be weatherwise.